Hi, welcome back. So, guys, as part of the previous session, we have seen the complete project specific configuration. Now, the app specific configuration, let us do that, precisely for an iOS in the editor. Immediately, a question that comes in our mind, Surendra, which editor we need to use? You can use any editor that supports the JavaScript and as well as the TypeScript. I'm using a Visual Studio Code. On the Visual Studio Code, go to File, open the folder and select the project that we have created some time before, and this is what the project is. And for me, by default, the iOS folder didn't display it for me. As the iOS folder didn't display it for me, now on the same project folder in the terminal, I ran npx expo pre-build clean. As and when I ran it, I got a message that successfully installed the cocoa pods. And when you navigate here, I was able to see this particular iOS folder perfectly. All right. And if you go back to this documentation, what they are saying here is the binary path of that particular app. We need to configure it. We need to configure it in the Detox JX file. So let me open the VS Code, and if you look at the Detox JX file, this is the complete file where you have a configuration related to the app files. So you have an iOS debug related app configuration, release app related configuration, Android configuration, release app, and as well as an Android debug relevant configuration. What are all the devices that we want, whether it is a simulator or an emulator? See here, Android EMU, it's mentioning it as an emulator, and Android attached ATT, it's an attached. iOS SIM, it's gonna be the iOS simulator, iOS simulator debug build related configuration, iOS simulator release build configuration. So like that, we have this particular configuration defined here. Okay, perfectly all right. So now the next thing that we need to consider here is, if you look at this particular path, whether it is in the configuration file or in the documentation, they are defining the binary path as an iOS build. You will be finding your app file. So let me go to an iOS where I just navigated to the build, but I was unable to see the build, the products, and the debug, and the app, and all those things. I was not able to find it. What I'm gonna do right now here is, once you are in the iOS folder, you have a .xc workspace. Double tap on that .xc workspace, which will be launching this iOS specific project in your Xcode. XC project or Xcode workspace. It's gonna launch your project completely in your workspace. So why we are targeting in this particular workspace, Surendra, itself means within your Xcode, you will be able to build the app and you will be able to identify the .app file location. See, as part of that documentation, if you look at it as part of the binary path, they are giving your app .app file. So I was unable to find it, hence I navigated to this particular documentation. Okay, so from where I just opened my project within this particular Xcode, and from where I will be building this particular app. After building this particular app, it will be generating the .app file location. So that .app file location we will be updating as part of a binary path. And as and when you open any project in your Xcode, if the indexing is populating, right, we just need to wait until the indexing got completed. So here the indexing is in process right now. Let the indexing process complete, then we will plan the next move. So let me maximize my Xcode. Let me expand the lucky trainings, and here within the project you do have a products, and if you expand the products, here is the lucky trainings app. And if you look at the top right corner here, so here let me highlight it, let me change my shape here. Yep, so here is the one. So here is the lucky trainings app. Okay, it's under this Xcode derived data, under the products, under the debug iPhone simulator. This is what the app name they have a given here. Perfectly all right. So let me click on this arrow mark, that will be opening it up in that folder for me. Okay. Okay, let me minimize this. Ideally, this dot app will be pointing to that particular folder itself. Okay, so it's navigating to here. Okay, that's fine. So let me click on this, and what I'm doing for now here is, let me copy this path. Okay, let me copy this path. In the meantime, what I am doing right now here is, let me go to my this particular project location, and here in the binary path, I was just updating to this particular path with my app name luckytrainings.app. And even for the release also, I'm just updating my app name. So whether it is in a debug build or in a release build, I just updated my app information. Now let us switch back to your Xcode and let's wait until the indexing got completed. And what we will be doing is once the indexing got completed, let us build this app from that Xcode also. Okay, let us build this app from that Xcode. And then in the meantime, if you look at the VS Code, it is saying that Xcode build the workspace, the XC workspace that you have opened. So which is a lucky training. So let me change this name your app to Lucky Trainings XC workspace. And here the schema. See, I have installed a copilot to my editor and it is suggesting me, buddy, you need to change this schema name is a Lucky Trainings. Just change your app to Lucky Trainings. And if you scroll down towards the right, basically scroll towards right, I just want to see basically the the derived path. You go the derived path and iOS and a build. That's fine. And here the release build also, I was just changing my release build also to this option as suggested by my copilot. Perfectly all right. So I have just changed everything. Okay, I have just changed everything. Let us check out my Xcode whether the indexing is completed or not. It's almost done. It may take a minute or so to complete it. In the meantime, let me pause the recording. Once the indexing got completed, I will kickstart with this recording again. Yeah, so the indexing got completed. Now I was just hitting this play button right now so that this app will be launched on this particular device. So let it build. So once build got succeeded, right, we can close this particular Xcode and we can switch back to our, the VS Code editor where we have configured the detox and from where we can take with the next steps. Okay. So let it proceed. So the building. So what it will happen is it will launch the app right now. Okay, so whatever the Lucky Trainings the app that it was there, right? It will launch that app on this particular iPhone 16 Pro 18.2 OS version. That's it. It may take a few seconds of time. So whatever the Android emulator was there, I just killed that Android emulator. I don't want to use the Android emulator for now. So for the time being, I will be picking up only the iOS itself. And ideally, it will take some time to build basically. So it's slowly building the app now. Okay, it's slowly building the app. Okay, so once the app got launched on that particular device successfully, then we will be going back to the VS Code and we will be looking at this. So the ultimate point that we need to consider here is this iOS debug app that we are targeting right now. It's an iOS app type, and this is what the location of a .app file is, and this is what the Xcode build that we are targeting for. Everything is just up to date. So once this app executed successfully from the Xcode, then we will switch back there. And in the meantime, what we can do here is if you look at it inside the E2E test, basically, it as per the configuration, it mentioned that there is a starter test which does has some sample tests in it. So there is a before all. So here we have a describe, we have a before all, we have a before each, and there is a it. We don't know all those things, right? Slowly we will be studying in the upcoming sessions. Okay, but for now, this is a sample test that it does has. Okay, this is the sample test that it does has. Okay, so before all, this is the action, just a reference I am giving. Before all, before executing all the tests, the content present in the before all will be executed. Before each, before executing each and every test, the content present in the before each would be executed. It is the one basically we can consider it as a simple test for now. So we have a three different tests that were created by the sample. Okay, by the detox configuration with the detox init that we have done. Okay, so perfectly all right. So let me check the Xcode. It may take a few seconds of time. So let me pause this video and let me come back once the app got launched on that device. So there is a nothing specific that we need to look at it basically. So we just need to check whether it is launching the app on that device or not itself we need to see. So here, attaching the lucky trainings. So if you look at it, the Expo app, it installed successfully. Okay, it installed successfully and it's trying to, load that particular app. The step by step, the actions got completed. Now, once this is done, as part of the next session, what we will be looking at is let us try to run the sample test which was created by the Detox on this same iOS itself, on the same simulator itself. Let us try to launch this program and just check it out how this is gonna work. So here, no script, make sure that the package is running embedded. So whenever you are getting this particular stuff, right? So what you need to do here is on the same folder where you have this project, okay, so run, so here npm install. This is the first time configuration that we are doing right now. Okay, npm install. And if you reload this simulator, okay, still we are getting that. So ideally we will be getting this npm start. Okay, npm start and as well as an npm installer. Okay, so now if you go back and if you click on this reload this time, see here, this is downloading, this is the building. So this, as this is the very first time when we are trying to build it, you just need to go with an npm install followed by an npm start that lets this bundler to load, that lets this app to launch successfully from the xcode. Now let me come back to the xcode, let me stop the build. Okay, let me come to the xcode, let me stop the build, let me close this xcode as well. Immediately a question will rise in our mind, Surendra, why you have a downloaded the project in an xcode? Means in order to get the project location, we have a utilized these xcode features. Okay, we have a utilized this particular xcode features. Okay, perfectly all right. Now, as part of the next session, let's come back and let us see how exactly we can execute our detox sample test there. Okay, perfectly all right. See you again in the next lecture. Thank you.